You know, this was a fun and action-packed episode of Star Trek Prodigy. From dealing with Admiral Janeway to catching up with Thadiun Okona and meeting the Xindi species again. Prodigy is nailing it with the Star Trek references department, while keeping stories fresh and engaging. This is our review of Star Trek Prodigy episode 14. Spoiler warning, we're discussing the episode in full, you have been warned. Welcome to Trek Central, I'm your host Captain Jack. Titled Crossroads, episode 14 is written by Lisa Schultz-Boyd and directed by both Stephen Chang-un and Sun Shin. We're dealing with a Protostar finally running into Admiral Janeway and the USS Dauntless, as well as the evolution of Murf. This is a very densely packed episode, leaving us on an interesting cliffhanger, which we're going to discuss in just a moment. Quick, did you know we've just opened up our new Star Trek Discord server? With Twitter changing daily, we've created a dedicated Star Trek community space. Simply click the link in the video description or use the on-screen icon now, somewhere here, and come talk Star Trek with us. Oh, and thank you all for 110,000 subscribers. It looks like we're getting closer at Warp 9.9 towards our next goal of 150k. But as always, let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, because if you're talking about Star Trek, we want to hear about it. Okay? Engage. Now, I've been saying for weeks now that I wanted more Admiral Janeway content. Finally, this episode of Star Trek Prodigy does just that. We have a nice balance between seeing the Protostar kids and the Dauntless crew. However, likely this is only for this episode. The story of Prodigy is not about Janeway, for the most part, so it makes sense for this episode we can have an equal amount of screen time for both crews, considering the context. Seeing Thadiun Okona again was rather interesting. He's a character first featured in Star Trek The Next Generation, for those who did not know. So he's got plenty of experience in dealing with Starfleet. However, you've got to wonder, why him? It's an odd choice of character to bring back. Then again, without prior knowledge, he appears to be this roguish captain who's out to use the young crew as much as they are him. I do want to see him go head to head with a Vice Admiral though. The whole episode works really well for being action-packed. Crossroads moves the plot for the whole series forward while also doing bits of character development here and there. An example of this is Dr. Nuam encountering Jankum Pog, another Tellarite, and therefore we, as viewers, learn more about Jankum's namesake, aka Pog. We now understand more about this short stature as well. I've got to commend the series creators for throwing bits of Star Trek lore in, like Xindi reptilians on an ice world. Okay, who saw that one coming? You've got to love Star Trek Enterprise. Who did that? I want to congratulate a person on the team. Of course, this week brought the evolution of Murf. Well, it's been described some sort of Murphosis, Murphologist. No, that's another YouTuber. Murphotis? I don't know. It's something like that. Either way, it's been hinted in the last couple episodes that something is happening to our cute slime ball of a friend. However, sadly, some had this surprise spoiled due to Paramount. SFX magazine published an article in their latest edition containing an upcoming episode picture of Murf, giving the game away. Well done, guys. Honestly, well done. Bit lame, really. Regardless of that, I think this is a new step for the character of Murf. He still has the noise he makes so far, so he has no voice. I was discussing Murf voices in the Trek Central Discord server. I personally think he should have a British accent, a top hat, and a monocle while drinking some tea. Then again, we're gonna have to wait and see, but let me know what you think. This episode does leave us on a cliffhanger of a lot to think about going forward, though I'm sure we'll learn more about Murf from comments this week from creatives and producers. We've been looking forward to seeing Admiral Janeway catch up with the crew. What I did like is that she and the Dauntless crew actually meet the Protostar kids before they realize who they are.
All of you talked to Starfleet, but no one told them about the deadly weapon? The sole reason we left our ship? Come on, guys!
A fantastic example of Janeway speaking to Dahl about joining Starfleet. Regardless of repercussions, this conversation is great, because it shows that Janeway has not changed that much, especially since her days on the USS Voyager, and when it comes to inspiring the younger generation. You can see why Kate Mulgrew was picked for this series. Speaking of Mulgrew, hats off to her for nailing the badass Admiral Janeway moments. Her deciding to cripple the Protostar was a great touch and critical thinking of her character. While we're thinking about it, damaging a Protostar's third nacelle might be a good plot move. Now than being in the Romulan neutral zone, they can't zip straight to Starfleet HQ and knock on the door. Instead, they need to rely on conventional warp travel. An interesting development is Commander Tysis defying Admiral Janeway. He reminds her that her command decision is based on an emotional response, due to Captain Chakotay's involvement with the USS Protostar. Although this sequence is kinda short and leaves us on the cliffhanger of the Romulans and the neutral zone, it's tense. In this short moment, more character development has been added to Tysis than we've ever seen. I do hope we spend more time with him as the series continues. This would be a great time for a prequel book telling us more about the character. But the handling of a diviner continues to be something that you know is going to do more harm than good eventually. With Janeway and the Dauntless now unable to chase to the protostar, they might deliver him right into the heart of the Federation. Whoops. But an interesting detail, Ensign Senior seems to be working very closely with the character. I'm personally thinking something else might be going on here than we suspect, so yeah. Finally, we got some fantastic shots of the USS Dauntless in this episode. Janeway's new command vessel is looking epic. Coupled with the fact we're seeing it chase down the protostar, I love it. I love these action sequences, they worked really well. We also get to see what type of tech the starship is packed with. However, we don't see the quantum slipstream just yet. I was hoping we'd see it, but maybe not. Seeing the Dauntless also have the same red alert sound effect as the USS Voyager was a great addition and sort of just amplifies the show even more. Overall, this episode feels like a two-parter. The ending is rather abrupt and almost feels like we're expecting a to be continued sign. With how Star Trek Prodigy's first 10 episodes were handled and split up, I have to wonder if the creative team expected the same thing to happen here. Thankfully, this is not the case, but the cut-off still feels weird. Still, for keeping a tense situation running, it works. It's also keeping us Trekkies highly engaged. Now personally, I'm getting a little tired of Chakotay being mentioned. It's been ages since we've learned anything about the fate of the character or anything meaningful. We know he's been taken prisoner, but come on Prodigy, just a glimpse of what's going on with him would be good, you know. We have had a cool theory the other week, perhaps Chakotay is a prisoner under the Kazon. This species and he did not actually get along well in Star Trek Voyager, therefore you can see them probably not likely being happy with him and maybe trading him with a diviner. I think this episode excels in introducing both crews. We see Janeway delivering a core message about Starfleet with some words of wisdom, while Dr. Nuom trading barbs of Jank and Pog. You've got to love it. Even though this is a series aimed at younger audiences, having mature conversations, such as Titus standing up against Vice Admiral Janeway, is fantastic. It gets the younger generation ready for what they might see in future shows, like Star Trek Voyager or The Next Generation. Honestly, this episode has me hooked from start to finish. I am loving the direction Star Trek Prodigy is going in right now, and I can't wait to watch more next week. Thankfully, these episodes run right through to the last week of 2022, so we won't be left without an engaging Star Trek story this year. But that's our review today. What did you think of this episode of Star Trek Prodigy? Make sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Oh, also, come tell me on our Discord server. I look forward to seeing you there, and make sure to choose a rank. Now, if you want to keep up to date on the latest Star Trek news, lore, and more, make sure to hit that subscribe button to never miss a video from the team here at Trek Central. You can also follow us on social media, such as Facebook and Instagram, for your daily Star Trek news. But in the meantime, that's it for me, Captain Jack here on Trek Central. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Live long and prosper, my friends. Goodbye.